Hello, children. Welcome to grade 5. This is your English class. Similar to your grade 4 English, this year also we will read many interesting stories and poems. We will improve our understanding of the structure of language by learning about various grammatical concepts. And we will also practice writing different writing formats. Let's begin with today's lesson, which is a very interesting and fun poem. The name of the poem is This is Going to Hurt Just a Little Bit. Before we begin reading, let's have a look at the illustration of the poem. What do you think the poem is about? Well, as you can see, we have a child here sitting on a dentist's chair, and the dentist is having a look inside the child's mouth. So I'm sure you all can relate that this poem is about visiting a dentist. Let's read the poem to find out more about it. One thing I like less than most things is sitting in a dentist's chair with my mouth wide open, because some tortures are physical and some are mental, but the one that is both is dental. Your mouth is like a section of road that is being worked on, and it is all cluttered up with stone crushers and concrete mixers. And then at last he says, "That will be all." But it isn't, because he then coats your mouth from cellar to roof. And you totter to your feet and think, well, it's all over now. And after all, it was only this once. And he says, come back in 3 months. Poet Ogden Nash. Alright, before I explain this poem to you, I have a task for you. Read this poem for yourself. Take a pen and paper and write all the new words that you encounter in the poem. Then, while reading, write what you think those new words mean. After reading the whole poem, you have to then look up the meaning of those words in the dictionary. Now that you've read the poem, let's go through it one more time to understand it better. One thing I like less than most things is sitting in a dentist's chair with my mouth wide open. The child is saying that the one thing that I do not like much, when he says like less than most things, he means that he does not like it much. And that is to sit in a dentist's chair where he has to open his mouth wide so that the dentist could examine it. Why? Because some tortures are physical and some are mental, but the one that is both is dental. The reason is that there are some tortures. The word tortures here means pain. Some tortures are physical and some are mental. That is, that some pains are physical, that is, which are related to your body, and some are mental, related to your mind, whereas the one that is both is dental. So in the first paragraph, the poet is introducing us to what his experience is like while visiting a dentist. He finds it extremely painful, and the pain is not just related to his bodily pain, but also is a mental pressure. Moving on. Your mouth is like a section of the road that is being worked on. He is comparing it to an open road where work is going on. And it is all cluttered up, stone crushers and concrete mixers. I'm sure when you have visited a dentist, he must have used different tools inside on your teeth, and also some kind of pastes that they use to fill up the cavities. So he's comparing all of that to stone crushers, mixtures, and different things used to set up a road. And that is what he's explaining here, that the mouth is equal to a part of the road where work is going on, where there's a lot of mess. The word cluttered up here means messed up and untidy. So it's a lot of mess, and it's like working on a road with stone crushers and concrete mixers. And then at last he says, that'll be all. But it isn't. So after working on your teeth for a while, the doctor says, that'll be all. That is all that we are going to do today. But that is not actually true, because he then coats your mouth from cellar to roof. Because after that, he covers your mouth from the bottom to the top. The word cellar here means the basement of a building, which the poet is equating to the base of the teeth. And you totter to your feet and think, well, it's all over now. And once the doctor is done, you get up in an unsteady way and stand up on your feet. Which word do you think here means getting up in an unsteady way? In an unsteady way? Yes, that is totter. And then you think that it is over. And after all, it was only this once. And he says, come back in 3 months. But that is not actually true, because it doesn't get over as the doctor asks you to visit him again in 3 months. All right, I hope that you've understood the meaning of the poem, and now I would want you to read it one more time to improve your understanding. We now move on to the Let's Talk section. In this section, I would want you to have a discussion with your parents on the questions given below. Do you think it is necessary to visit a dentist? What makes you say so? Well, in my opinion, definitely it is important to visit a dentist regularly for good, shiny teeth. The next question is, do you like to visit your dentist? Give reason for your answer. Well, it is about your like and dislike, so you can choose to answer it the way you want to, but you need to give a valid reason for your choice. The third question is, if you were in the place of the poet, how would you have reacted and why? So imagine that you have to visit a dentist for a checkup. What would be your reaction? What would be your feeling? Would you be scared or happy or excited or just about okay? What would you be feeling and why? And the last question that I would want you to discuss with your parents is, what can you do to avoid a toothache? I hope you know what toothache means. The pain in the tooth. So what can you do so that you do not have a toothache? I'm sure you know about dental hygiene, and a few suggestions that I can give you are brushing your teeth regularly, every day in the morning and before going to bed, gargling after eating anything sweet, especially the sticky toffees and all, and of course, visiting your dentist regularly so that any cavities can be covered up and treated in time. Definitely have this discussion with your parents and get to know more about how you can avoid a toothache. Your next task for today is a writing task wherein I want you to answer these 3 questions. The first question, do you think the title of the poem is appropriate? Give reason for your answer. Let me guide you on how you can go about writing this answer. First, you need to write down what is the title of the poem, and that is, "This is going to hurt just a little bit." Now connect it with the content of the poem. Is the title suiting the poem? Why do you think it is suitable? Give a reason for the same. Moving on to the next question. Question number 2. Pick out phrases from the poem that show that the poet did not like to visit the dentist. So read the poem one more time and pick out the short phrases, short sentences wherein you understand that the poet is not liking his visit to the dentist. Last question, question number 3. How did the poet feel when the dentist asked him to come back in 3 months? You can find this answer in the last 2 paragraphs of the poem. So write that answer in your own words. Question number 4 you have already done in the exercise wherein you wrote 4 new words from the poem, the meaning that you think they have, and their meaning from the dictionary. That is all for our today's class. Thank you.